In the land of Los Angeles, far, far away, every Monday morning, you do something. You put 3 cans out on the street. 1 can is a blue can. You put all of your things that can be recycled into that can. 1 can is a black can. You put all of the things that can't be recycled into that can. And 1 can is a green can, and that's all of your yard waste. And some very nice people come down your street every Monday, and they pick up those cans, dump them into their truck, and head on their merry way, taking away all of the stuff that you don't want. Well, guess what? That does not happen in the jungles of Bocas del Toro, Panama. Okay? Now, here comes the disclaimer caveat that we have to have with every video so someone who has trash service doesn't get all up in arms and offended. Look, I live in a rural jungle area. We do not have trash service here. That does not mean that everyone who moves to Panama does not have trash service. There is trash service in areas of Panama. You're going to find it in more urban type areas. Sometimes it's privatized. From what I understand, in our larger town here, Jinguano, there's a man that has a big truck that just kind of goes around and picks up your trash for a fee. So it's like private trash service versus city trash service like we have in Los Angeles. So look, just because I don't have it doesn't mean you won't. But what I am going to talk to you about is the fact that, yeah, it does pretty much stink to not have trash service, and it does require kind of a restructuring of your life and how you look at waste, because it then becomes something that is at the forefront of your mind at all times. Like, if I bring this massive amount of plastic in, what am I going to do to get rid of it? It's going to take up space. Somebody's not coming by. What are we going to do? All right, so all of that said, I'm going to take you through all of the types of waste that we produce here on the property and how we deal with each specific type. And then at the end, we're going to go on a field trip. All right, so let's go. This is my brand new handy dandy kitchen that has just been installed today. And that marks about 1 month and 2 days that I have not had a handy dandy kitchen. Now, I've had a stove, I've had a refrigerator, I just haven't had cabinet space and a sink, which means I've been washing dishes outside in the water hose. That's a whole nother situation. But what kind of trash is produced in the kitchen? Primarily food waste. And what we do, we have this very nice Samsung refrigerator that I'm so in love with. This is the freezer section down here. So I have a bucket here where food waste goes, eggshells, fruit cuttings, that kind of thing. And then because that is overfilled, I have a bag in here that I put more in. So why am I freezing all of this? Well, the primary purpose, filming myself today, the primary purpose is for compost. So I'm building my compost heap right now. I'm videoing all of that so I can show you how I'm doing it. And a major component of that is going to be kitchen waste items. So we keep them in here, keep them frozen. That keeps the bugs out of them until I'm ready to put them into the compost pile. So that is kind of our first category of waste that we have. Kitchen waste, easy to deal with, freeze it, compost it, and it serves another purpose. Okay, so right now, probably our largest source of waste, unfortunately, is plastic waste. And that's because as we're moving in and we're getting things, all of the packaging is plastic. So, you know, the refrigerator came completely wrapped in plastic, and the stove in plastic. And see, here we go, exactly. He's installing the sink. Brian is installing the sink right now. Plastic. So I'll show you what we do with this. Now, some plastic our workers actually take. If it's big pieces, like the pieces that I had when we got our mattresses and box springs, those huge pieces of plastic, they will use them. So I would always rather give it to them to use than to just chunk. We have this big trash can here that we have a trash bag in, and then we just put our plastic waste in that and put the lid on it. All right, so I will tell you that when I first got here, Popsy was burning all of the plastic, And I said, no, 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 we can't burn plastic. It's really not healthy for us or for the environment. Unfortunately, plastic just isn't healthy for the environment, period, but it's just kind of a necessary evil, and you're not going to be able to avoid it here. So what do you do when you don't have the recycle man to come pick it up? That's going to be part of our trip today. Okay, so plastic waste goes in this. Now, I have another type of plastic waste that we have a lot of right now, and that is these bottles, these water bottles. As you should know, we have a well, and unfortunately we're not able to drink out of it right now because we are getting bacteria readings in that. So until we can get that cleared up, then that's kind of off limits to drink. So we're buying a lot of water to drink. But those plastic bottles are not going to go in the landfill. I'm completely going to repurpose those, and I'll show you for what. I was over at my friend Neela's house yesterday, and she gave me all of these amazing cuttings. Gardening here is a dream. Timo brought me this little mango tree to plant, which was so nice of him. And then this is what we do when we're repurposing the water bottles. We can change them into planters to grow things before we're ready to put them into the ground. This is a tree that Popsy brought to me that he's saying is a really good medicinal tree, but we don't know what it is. So I've got to try to figure out what it is. But we're getting ready to put all of these things in the ground. So those water bottles, if you cut them in half, can be repurposed into a planter. And that's one thing that you really don't grasp until you move here, is the amount of things that can be repurposed. Which brings us to another packing issue. They're plastic and styrofoam. And if you look back here, this camera zooms so slow, like I could have walked back there faster. But if you look back there, we have a big pile of styrofoam. And again, that's primarily packing type material. And so when we had our solar system, or not our solar, when we had our battery generator system being installed, there was a lot of styrofoam that was around the unit. And so I told Popsy, I said, please make sure, the people came from David to install it. I said, Popsy, please make sure that they take all of this plastic and all of this styrofoam back with them, because again, us trying to get rid of it is this massive pain. And he said, oh, can I have the styrofoam? I said, what do you want the styrofoam for? He said, to make glue. He said, I'd caulk my boat with it. I said, you what? These are conversations Popsy and I have a lot. He said, I'd caulk my boat with it. He said, I'd mix gasoline with it, and it melts and forms an amazing caulk for our boats. So if there's like a hole or something, it patches it right up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, what the health ramifications of melting styrofoam with gasoline are, I can't tell you. But I give Popsy all of my styrofoam now, and he repurposes it. He uses it. So at least it's not going in the landfill. So I feel a little bit better about it. I mean, hopefully it's not killing him, melting it with gas, but I totally didn't even believe that that was a thing. But I looked it up on YouTube, and it is a thing. So you can like Google like styrofoam glue or something, and you'll see like people use that. I don't know. They find ways to repurpose things here that are amazing. So that's one thing. Before we throw away anything major, we ask the workers, is this something you can use? Case in point. Brian apparently has not been working hard enough, and he sat in his chair, his super duper $4.99 chair from Wolf Mall in Changanola. He sat in his chair the other night, and it broke. So I guess Brian's getting a little gordo. But that was like the first thing I asked the workers this morning was, do you think you can fix this chair? If so, you can have it. They're like, no, we can't really fix that. So unfortunately, the chair is going to have to go into the landfill. All right, so our last major category of trash is paper waste. And we have three basic categories of paper waste that we use. Here's cardboard, which is super handy for putting like our sticks and stuff that we use in our fire pit to keep them dry up here on the porch, because that stuff gets burned right here in this pot every morning and every evening to keep the chitras, or no-see-ums, off of us when they're out for the couple of hours a day. Now, sorry about all the flipping of the camera, but like I have mentioned before, this is not a high production value channel. Okay, so basically, like I said, we have 3 kind of categories of paper. We have like the small stuff, like little pieces of like used paper towel or a little piece of paper like from a bill or an invoice or something like that. That stuff goes into that fire as starter to get that going. Then we have cardboard. Cardboard serves 2 purposes here. It is a box for carrying things like going to the grocery store, coming back. Sometimes we peel pieces of it off to get the fire started if we don't have enough small paper waste. And also it can go in the compost, which is really handy. And egg cartons. We eat a lot of eggs here, and all of our egg cartons are going to Popsy. Popsy is starting Popsy's Pollo farm, his chicken farm. We have a whole business plan in place for Popsy, and if you're going to want organic eggs in Bocas soon, Popsy is going to be your dude. So I'm getting him all of our empty egg cartons. I send over to him so he has something to put his eggs in when he's ready to sell. We're working hard on getting Popsy set up with his own entrepreneurial businesses. Except we still have to have him here. That's a given. All right, so we have the cardboard. We have the small paper waste that we burn. Then there's another type of paper waste we have. I'll give you a moment to think about it. Got an idea of what it might be? Yes. Back in Los Angeles, this paper waste, when you go to the bathroom and clean yourself according to Western standards, you then put said paper waste in the toilet, flush it, never to be seen again. Yeah, not so much here. We're on septic, so we're really careful about not putting paper into the toilet, which, okay, it just is what it is. So we have a trash can with a very tight lid on it next to the toilet, and then we have to get rid of that, and we do that by burning it. So I will spare you the gory shots of that, but basically we just pile it, and we don't burn it obviously in our little thing here on the porch. We have a little fire pit area where we burn some big sticks and things like that that we have to get rid of, so we put it on there and get rid of it. So those are our categories of paper and how we get rid of them. All right, so now you know basically, wait, no, you don't know all of the trash we produce. There's one more category. We're very trashy people. Okay, as you can tell by our living situation. All right, here is the other trash we produce a lot of every day. Battery died. Okay, but here's our other source of trash that we create a lot of. Soda cans. So basically, we get the soda cans and then we smash them. We put them in this bucket, and soda cans you can trade in around here, I guess, for like a deposit or whatever. And so chances are we're just gonna give that to like Timo or Popsy or something and let them handle it and take the money for it. We like doing little things like that for them because they really deserve it. So those are our different types of trash and how we deal with them. So you can see that we pretty much get rid of everything. Soda cans go to the recycled place. Paper is used in the compost or it's burned. And then food waste goes into the compost. Oh, some of the paper goes into the compost too, some of the cardboard. And then we've got that plastic trash can full of stuff. So what do we do for that? Well, that is going to be our surprise field trip for the day. So let's go. Oh, we're almost all loaded up. We just got to get Ike in the car. As you can see, we have a full load. And this actually is all drywall. If you watched my Panamanian telenovela episode from last week, then you would have seen that this is all the drywall that had to be torn out of a building that our roof was stolen, and all the drywall was ruined when it rained. So we probably still have 2 more loads of drywall to go. All right, let's hit the road. So yeah, you know, this was my Panamanian telenovela episode 1. We're trying to get into Almirante and it's locked. So we don't know if there's a protest or what's going on, but the road's blocked. So we do know a back way and we're going to try that. All right, 40 minutes out of our life, but it's a beautiful drive and we are back on the road to Jinguano. We have made it to our exciting destination. Yes, folks, I have brought you to, wait for it, The Jinguano Landfill. Oh my, the beauty. Okay, so I was not able to figure out how to say drywall in Spanish, and I looked it up. It said panales de yeso or something, and he was like, I don't even know, just take it over there and leave us alone.
They say gypsum.
So, oh, Brian says maybe they say gypsum. Okay, it smells just like you would think it would. We're probably gonna pop a tire and possibly run over a vulture. So, yeah, this is a thing. And it's pretty disgusting. Oh my lordy. All right, so now we're gonna get everything unloaded. I mean, we don't know the protocol here, like what happens or anything. Somebody helped Brian unload, this nice gentleman right here. And so we're giving him like a couple bucks, and I guess that's all you do. I don't know. We don't know. We just live here. So, all right, so now we know where we can bring the stuff that we can't burn, we can't compost. Yeah, not, exactly what I like to do environmentally, but, sometimes you just don't have a choice. And that ends our field trip and our exciting video on what stinks in Panama. And I promise you that the answer to that question is the Jinguano Landfill. All right, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next Friday.